Welcome back. We're here to talk about Sunday's Premier League match between Leicester and Aston Villa. Pascal, we'll start with the visitors. 12th in the table after 2-2 draw with Sunderland last time out.
Yeah, I think that was a game certainly that they would have wanted to win. Sunderland going into that, they're still bottom of the table now, Sunderland, and for Villa to only get a draw there at home, it is a disappointing result for them. And it's now no Premier League winning three after they won at Bournemouth on the opening day. And yeah, certainly a disappointment. I know they did well after, they fell behind very early on to that. It was a great free kick from Villa, and then Scott Sinclair, gets both goals, good for him. But and then in the second half to not really push on from that and conceding. I mean, it was slightly unfortunate the way Sunderland's second goal went in with that deflection that sort of just lifted it over Guzan, but it is a disappointing result for them and 12th in the table. So far this season, haven't really seen too much to suggest that they're not really going to be battling relegation.
Yeah, they let Benteke go obviously in the transfer window. Haven't really replaced him with an out-and-out striker. Defensively, they brought some reinforcements in, which I think could prove decent. Lescott, I think, is a really shrewd signing. I'm surprised West Brom let him go because he had a decent season last season, and under Pulis, he's the sort of player who can really help them keep clean sheets. So I think his experience, his know-how, that's going to be vital to the Aston Villa defence, which is quite young at the moment, especially since Ron Vlaar left in the summer as well. Thiago Alori, he's another young one, comes in from Liverpool on loan. There's a lot of anger from the Liverpool fans that he was allowed to leave. He hasn't been given a sniff in the Liverpool team. He joined for a lot of money, and people thought he had a lot of potential, thought he might sort of slowly come into the team, but he's been put out on loan, and then at the end of this loan he's got the option of joining Villa on a permanent deal. So if he impresses, which the general feeling is he might, Sherwood's been saying he's after him for a long time and he's seen a lot of potential in him, so I'd expect him to get quite a bit of game time. I think those could be two very shrewd signings at the back for them.
Yeah, and they'll also feel that almost, not Jack Grealish is a new signing, but he hasn't really played this season, Jack Grealish. He could be back fit for this one, which is a boost for them. Traore missed the game against Sunderland as well, and he really impressed me. The way he set up the goal against Palace, I know they ended up losing that game, but his just raw pace there, just breezed past two defenders. He missed that last game, but he should be back for this one. So if both of those come back, that's certainly two exciting players to come back, because like you say, they haven't really replaced Benteke with a sort of out-and-out striker. And I mean, I know Sinclair's doing brilliantly at the moment, 2 against Sunderland. He scored 3 in the League Cup before that, so he's got 5 in 2 in all competitions, so he's looking really good for them. So if Sinclair can keep up that form, Grealish and Traore come back, they're certainly 3 very exciting players. But it's just, it's about whether those 3, they're all quite sort of small players, whether over the course of the season they can sort of do it against all Premier League defence. I think it will be a struggle for them, but if Sinclair keeps going the way he's going, he could be really good for them.
Yeah, Sinclair's the informed player for them. Mauer's the informed player for Leicester. They've made a really good start to the season. He's been central to that. Didn't score last time out against Bournemouth. That was Vardy. Earned his place in the England squad and scored the equaliser from the spot. Could have had another penalty later on against Bournemouth as well. I think for them that would be a bit of a disappointing result considering how well they started this season. They would have earmarked a game against newly promoted Bournemouth as a chance to get another 3 points, but all told, not too bad a result considering they were trailing going into the final 10 minutes. They'll be happy to rescue a point from that position. As I mentioned, they could have had more if the late Vardy penalty was given. Probably should have been given in fairness, but then they were a bit fortunate not to concede a penalty at the other end a few minutes later. A bit fortunate not to see Robert Hoops sent off for an incident involving Wilson and then Mings as well. So it was a very incident-packed match. A point apiece. Neither side will be too delighted with that, but Leicester, I think they'll take it because it's still unbeaten. It's been a fantastic start to the season, and it's all positive around the club at the moment under Ranieri.
Yeah, definitely. I think the way they started the season, they probably would have gone to Bournemouth and thought this was a chance to get a win. But even though they didn't win, they're still sitting 3rd in the table. So it just shows how good a start it's been for them. And deadline day for them was fairly quiet. But they did bring in Nathan Dyer on a season on loan from Swansea, and I think that's a great signing because he sort of was struggling to get a look in at Swansea because they're doing brilliantly as well. But I think, given how well he's done for Swansea sort of last 2-3 seasons, he's been a really important player for them. I mean, I've never been that convinced just on sort of the eye test, just watching him. I think he never looks that good, but he seems very important the last two seasons for Swansea. He's come up with important goals, delivered great assists for them, and he's certainly, I mean, the way he's going, I think he might struggle to get in the team because of the likes of Albrighton, Mahrez, like you said, they're both playing really well. But I think I'll be surprised if Albrighton keeps up this form for much longer. I think he might dip soon, and that will give Dyer a chance, and he could certainly come in and make a difference. And apart from that, I think Ranieri's basically got a fully fit squad there to choose from. Apart from Matty James, he's out on the treatment table, but apart from that, fully fit squad to choose from. They look really strong at the moment, and if they can keep picking up points like this game at home to Villa, it's another very winnable game for them. If they can keep picking up points, they'll be sort of edging further and further away from sides like, say, Sunderland, who are really struggling. And considering I thought Leicester at the start of the season would be, they'd really struggled so far, 3rd in the table. They're looking great, and if they can keep picking up wins and just pulling further away, they might just be not secured relegation, but really have given themselves a great chance by, say, Christmas time.
There'll certainly be favourites going into this match. Which way do you see it going?
I see a draw in this one. I think Leicester, even though it's been a fantastic start, I think they will, go quiet. I can't really see them keeping up this sort of, top three form for much longer. I think they will sort of drop back down towards the bottom half, and I'm going to pick a 2-2 draw here.
Yeah, I agree that Leicester, their form's got us tail off somewhat. Obviously ended the season really well last season, started this season really well. I don't think this is the match that is going to tail off, to be honest. I think Aston Villa at home, they'll be confident of getting 3 points. I can see them picking up a relatively comfortable 3-1 win here. So we're going for one comfortable Leicester victory and a draw. Thanks for joining us.